name is Lorena.
And my name is Janice.
We are going to be discussing the psychological system of rhetoric, also called the New Rhetoric of the 18th century. This system was developed in response to the major deficiencies of the grammatical system, which was found to be oversimplified, overly formulaic, and rhetoric-centered.
First, it is important to understand the exigence of the psychological systems of rhetoric, which combines the sophisticated systems of psychology and epistemology. Epistemology is how the speaker is going to do things through visualization, examples, props, testimonies, and other methods. This is in comparison to the grammatical system, which is based off of what the speaker should do, while the psychological system is based off of the mind-message relationships, or how people process messages. So, epistemology is why we think what we think and know what we know, whereas psychology wants to look at how messages are processed in the audience's mind.
The main idea for the psychological system of rhetoric is to enlighten the understanding, to please the imagination, to move the passions, or to influence the will. The psychological system of rhetoric revolves around how the speaker wanted their message to be received by the listener. They also use proofs based off of audience experience, analogy, testimony, and other ways they come to believe. In addition, they drew inferences based on intuition, gut feelings, and common sense, and viewed rhetoric as an offshoot of logical studies, not as a counterpart. Ultimately, the psychological system of rhetoric can be boiled down to 5 main concepts: audience-centered, focus on effect, proofs, management, and framing instead of inventing. Audience-centered is how it affects the audience based on their perception. Focus on effect is whether or not the message had the intended effect. Proofs are strategies to use based on how audience believes, by experience, analogy, testimony, and the calculation of chances. Management is how you present and frame information. And framing instead of inventing involves the loss of substance and is more about how messages are believed.
We chose the expression mnemonic because it was the best option to remember the features of the psychological system, which can be condensed into 5 topics. Our phrase is, "A frightened priest might freeze." Priests have to give speeches with an intended meaning, making the phrase not only easy to remember because of the absurdity of a scared holy man, but also relevant to the topic. The first letter of each word of the phrase resembles the first letter of each of the 5 main features of the psychological systems of rhetoric.
So in conclusion, the next time you start to freeze on a test, just think of a frightened breeze.